What's going on, boys? Dan here. Welcome to another episode of Barstool Bitcoin. As always, I'm on the line joined by my co-host, Wowsy. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, boys? Doing good. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well. And also a little change of pace here. We actually were fortunate enough to get one of my friends on the line. He works for a Fortune 100 tech company, and he's a bit of a newcomer to the crypto space, but he's been in tech for a little while, and he's going to ask some questions on this episode that most people entering crypto are trying to figure out and learn about, and in the hopes that he eventually gets some benefit from it, as do you all. So if you're more advanced in crypto, this episode might not be for you. We're going to be mixing in the different stories and everything that's happened with Bitcoin in the last week, along with our predictions, but half of the episode is going to be devoted to stuff for more beginners. So if that's you, then great, stay on the line, and if you're more advanced, then you can head on over to our next episode. But like I said, I'm on the line with Nick. What's going on, Nick?
Dan, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, glad to have you. Glad to have you. So you work at a Fortune 100 tech company. What got you interested in crypto in the beginning?
Crypto has always kind of interested me. It's been on the rise, so I've started to do a little bit of research on kind of where it started and kind of where it's going. And so it's like piquing my interest, and I feel like speaking to both yourself and Wow and asking you guys some questions, I might be getting some good information to lead me in the right direction to help me get started. So I'm super excited.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, let's get it going here then. So, lots of positive news in the last week on Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumped past 7K up to right now sitting at 7750 on the trading view for Coinbase on the Coinbase chart. But while looks like you took this week prediction, you took the
Yeah,
over from last week.
Bitcoin's up 5%. I feel like every time we're on, Bitcoin's just going up and up, and there's just more and more positive news in the market. I think the whole market is waiting for this ETF next month to really determine where Bitcoin's going to be moving. I honestly think that it'll be going up till the decision. So
Yeah,
that's my guess right now. I'll give it to you guys. I think next week we're up again, and I think we'll be going up until the ETF. Do you guys want to speak a little bit about that? That's what I'm seeing all over the market, all over the internet right now.
Yeah, it looks like pretty positive news coming out from different trading groups, and Bitcoin's been overbought for a while, but it continues to rise, which is a good sign. And a lot of it is definitely leading up to the ETF news, and we'll see what happens there. But it's sitting on some pretty big support or pretty big resistance around
Hmm.
7,800. So I'm not sure if this
Yeah,
is
I
going to be a
think so
bull
too.
trap or if we could see a breakout here. I really don't know. But overall, I think it's a good thing that we're getting a little bit of run up here. I like to see that pretty usually in the market. It keeps it healthy, and I mean we'll see where we are in the curve. Can't tell if it's going to break out here, or do you think we're in a bull trap? What are you thinking?
Um, I think that it kind of depends on. I know that the news isn't everything, but if it gets enabled and around August 18th, I think that ETF would give us the push to really jump into the bull market, like to reverse if we haven't already. And then I think if we don't get that, then I think we're going to kind of come back down and kind of go through the depression and come back down for a couple more months. Maybe that's when we'll see the 5K and maybe even less than 5K. But I think it's pretty good. Like I saw the comparison of golds when ETF was enabled for that, and it just exploded. I think over 10 or 20x. So I know you can't just compare both and hope that it does the same, but it's kind of uh,
Oh, it keeps going overbought and then cooling off, but it's keeping the bull momentum.
Yeah, for
So
sure, for
most
sure.
likely we'll probably see that till the ETF news comes out.
Yeah, if you look at the weekly or monthly time frame, it's not that overbought, you know what I mean? But obviously looking at the smaller time frames, it's pretty overbought. I was on TradingView looking at a previous all-time high, and the RSI was super, overbought, and it kind of just held. So I
That's a
don't
great sign, right? That means we're in a bullish pattern.
yeah, and I wouldn't just base it off one indicator, so
Yeah, I mean
I
we're in a
wouldn't just
6 month
sell.
bear trend, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we're at our all-time, we're not all-time high. We're at our highest for the last 2 months. So, if we keep pushing up, we'll keep going higher and higher, and hopefully the reversal's in sight. So,
Yeah,
I even saw an article saying the bubble is over, the boom is coming. So there's a lot of positivity out there.
the
People
bulls
are
are
just
coming back out.
the bulls are coming back out. They're throwing big checks
Lambos,
again. Yep, yep.
you
It's
hanging in
pretty
there,
awesome,
Nick?
boys. Yeah, I'm hanging in there, grabbing some good information there. So, kind of, my question to you guys would be: so, there's a bullish market. It may go up, it may go down. When do you guys, or when do you see like the best time to buy and the best time to sell? And where do you guys see it going in the next maybe? What do you think it'll be in the next week, in the next coming months? Like, for me, what would be a good time to start maybe purchasing?
Hmm.
Well, I think
Uh,
we're still in accumulation phase. So if you've never bought Bitcoin before, then you should start buying now and you should start aggregating your buys over a couple weeks or even months, depending on how the market goes. But at the same time, a lot of people are waiting for that 5K level to hit to buy. So it all depends on you and your risk profile, like how much risk you want to take. We typically do a little prediction, 1 week prediction on the show. So I guess we'll just get right into that now. While with the over under here in 1 week, so we're sitting at 77.47 right now,
7.
according to Coinbase.
Yeah.
1 week from today, are you taking the over or the
Should I
under?
would say 8,200. I would go with over.
8,200. I'm gonna
Yeah, I'd
also
go with
take the
over.
over. I'm gonna also take the over because we're seeing a little bit of a trend.
There's a lot of money coming in right now. Yeah, what Dan said is great. If you were to come in right now, let's say you had $1,000 for the month and you want to split it up, let's say $250 a week, you can start averaging out on the price. Um, I wouldn't suggest just waiting for the cheapest price because you could be waiting and never ever buy Bitcoin at that price and miss out the whole run. And then you're kind of pissed at yourself. So I would just say
Yeah.
whatever you can put aside every month, buy a little bit. What Charlie Lee, he's the founder of Litecoin, even he posted last week that if you haven't bought any Bitcoin or even if you are buying any cryptos, before you buy any other shitcoin, try to invest into one Bitcoin. So I know this is noob friendly. One Bitcoin breaks into 100 million pieces. So a lot of people are confused. They see like 7 grand a Bitcoin. They don't have that much money. Like they want a cheaper coin, but you could buy pieces and parts of the coin. So you could buy 0.000001 and maybe just start accumulating until you have that one full Bitcoin, then move on to another coin that you believe in. But I think just throwing in money and averaging out the cost is the best way while it's in the down market. While everybody's talking shit, everybody thinks Bitcoin's gonna disappear. These are the times to buy. You're not gonna get the cheapest price, but if you can get near to it, you're still winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely makes it a little bit easier to kind of understand because, like you said, at one point, looking at one Bitcoin, to your point about 7,500, do I really want to spend that all in one shot? So I appreciate the advice on that, and I didn't know it split
Yeah.
up into that big too, so that's pretty cool. One thing I would like to know too, I know this may be a really newbie question, but where the fuck do I purchase this, and like, what's the safest way to do this? Because I've seen a lot of different things on the internet and possible scams. So, what's your guys' method of purchasing your Bitcoin?
Well, there's different ways that you could get it. For you listeners out there, Nick is a Canadian, so we'll just go from that point of view. There's a few different websites that you can securely purchase crypto on. You just basically fill out their KYC process. They want to, or they need to, do their due diligence on all customers to make sure, there's no like for anti money laundering and stuff like that. They need to cover themselves. And you could purchase directly through them. You just send them a wire once you're verified, and they will load your account. You can also find Bitcoin ATMs that are in and around most cities. I mean, in where I'm at in Montreal, Canada, right now, we have a bunch like in and around the city. So I guess that depends on where you are in the world. But at the same time, those ATMs charge pretty enormous fees. Like you're going to be looking at a significant fee, especially now when it's more of a seller's market because Bitcoin is so low. Um, and then the last option you have is to fill out KYC through an OTC desk, which is over the counter, so it's private sale. And then once you complete their KYC process, they'll put you in a chat, and you can then trade with them. So typically those are for larger purchases, but you have the benefit of not affecting the price of Bitcoin at all. You don't have to set buy or sell orders. It's just a market timing thing where they give you the price that they're selling right now or buying right now, whether you want to buy or sell. Your question was to buy, so they'll give you the price that they're selling at right now. You could accept or deny the trade. Usually they give you like 3 to 5 minutes because the price is so volatile to either confirm or deny the trade. And then if you confirm, they lock in the trade. You send them the cash and the price is agreed upon. You send them the cash, they essentially escrow the cash, and the seller sends them the Bitcoin or whatever currency you purchased, and then they will send it to you once they receive your wire. So those are the three ways that I know about. I don't know if you want to add to that, Wal.
Um, I'll add one way, and that's just doing it off friends or family or like people you know. Let's say like on Facebook or whatever. If you know they're deep into crypto, you could just ask them, "Hey, do you have any crypto I could buy?" Because most of the time, you could just try and get it for market from those guys. You know what I mean? They're not going to add 10 or 15% or whatever the ATMs are going to tack on. So if you know anybody local, it's safer. They're not going to fuck you. You know probably where they live, and stuff like that. So it's just safer. I like doing business with people I know, especially with crypto. Or we go, we have a local store, and I know the owner, so I'm pretty happy doing that. So either or, find a local store that you trust, or just ask people locally.
Yeah, what would they charge at the Bitcoin store over there?
At the Bitcoin store, I would say it's like 7 to 8%. It's still pretty
Yeah,
high up there.
that's like the
If you're
same as the
buying,
ATM.
yeah, there's some ATMs that are maybe double digit, like
Yeah,
10%.
right now, they're up there because they're so oversold. It's like such a
And I heard
seller's
they go
market.
up when the prices go up. So like when the price just surges, like they kind of throw in a right. That's what I heard. I don't use Bitcoin ATMs to sell or buy. So if Bitcoin goes up $1,000 in the day, who would know if they put it up a percent or two? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think they put it up no matter what. A good friend of mine, he owns most of the ATMs here in Montreal, and their price is double digits right now because it's a
Wow.
seller's market. They're buying for, let's say, 4% and they're charging 10%. And then when the price goes up, it decreases a bit, but it's still like pretty high. It'll be like 7, 8%. But I do remember in December when there was a serious influx of money coming in and we were just getting record high after record high, he was charging like 12% because everyone was just trying to trying to buy, you know? So
Yeah, and they'll pay whatever. They don't care.
exactly. So it's kind of weird how that works. It's kind of always a seller's market in many ways just because so few people are in crypto.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it seems for me, like someone who's just relatively new on picking up on it. Those explanations kind of made it a little bit easier, and it doesn't seem so daunting when you go, let's say, for a newbie and just put it in an internet search, and you get about 1,000 responses, and you're not really sure what to do. So thanks for fucking sharing that with
Yeah,
us.
and everybody's trying to scam you. I saw that
Yeah.
payments in cryptocurrency are they're the second largest type of scam in Australia right now, and I wouldn't bet that it's the second biggest or even biggest scam in other countries right now. People are going crazy, and they're just, if they can steal a noob's money, they'll do it. It's like taking candy from a baby, right?
Well, that's for sure. That would sound like me at the beginning, pretty much. So,
Yeah, like most noobs, and it happens. It happens.
and what do you say to those people? I mean, like that happens and they get discouraged for doing it. Like, is it like a live and learn, or get the fuck out, or figure it out?
That's a good question because you know what? Like,
It
that's
may
just a
scare off
whole
some people.
nother problem because I have somebody, for instance, who did a trade and they lost most of their money because of that trade. And they're kind of in that same position where they think kind of their money got stolen. So he's kind of in the same position where he's turned off and he doesn't want to trade cryptocurrencies or even look at it anymore. More. So, like, what do you tell those two types of people who maybe got their crypto stolen or they just lost everything because of a dumb trade or not using a stop loss? I would say with anything, you don't let like a fail keep you down or keep you down from that opportunity because one bad trade could, if you dwell over that your whole life, can ruin millions of dollars of profit, especially in crypto when it's just blooming and about to evolve. So I kind of try and tell him just move on from that. Don't let it buzzkill your whole experience and keep trying. There's so much more opportunity. For instance, I've repeated it multiple times, but I'm not sure if you know. I got scammed for about 9 Bitcoins, and maybe a lot of people would have stopped trying or trading and whatnot. But I just invested again, and I learned it was just purely my fault. So I think people need to, put the blame on themselves and kind of stop blaming outer. Uh,
Yeah. I agree with you totally. I also think it depends on your personality and
yeah, true, true.
what your commitment level is to investing and what your propensity to risk is. Like for us, we're young guys. I don't think any of us have any kids,
No
so
kids.
we have
No
not that
kids.
you know about, but
Not
but
that let me know about.
but if you have more responsibility, it's a little bit different, and you probably want to save for investment. So that could be a reason to maybe get out. Maybe the market is not for you because you want something more stable and less risky. Whereas if you are a believer in blockchain and you believe in the future of the technology, or B, you have a high propensity to risk, then either way, if you fall into one of those two buckets, you can just survive it out. Just get back in there. The only way that you learn is by failing. So just fail as many
Yeah,
times
for sure.
as it takes to get to success. Like treat
I
each one as
100% agree.
a building block. You know what I mean? Like every failure, the most successful people in the world failed the most. So you're just finding out what doesn't work, but at the same time, tread cautiously because you don't want to just be, throwing money away to all the scammers, and listen to the pod every now and then. We're
Yeah,
exposing
yeah.
Yeah.
scams on here, and if you guys find out about a scam, hit us up, let us know, and we'll bring it to the market for you.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. I was gonna throw in a little check out Barstool Bitcoin. Fuck, we got the couple geniuses and one little funny guy on here. So we got the comedy relief and the information you need. So
There we go. There we
keep
go.
it keep it listening.
Yeah, and we were talking about a couple episodes ago a while about India and all the shit going on over there with Bitcoin, and there's no exchanges, nobody can buy, like, you know
Yeah, yeah.
it's tough for them right now, but they're apparently the central bank, or the Reserve Bank actually, is like pushing the Supreme Court of India to regulate crypto. So we could see some big announcements that could drive some of the Indians to get into crypto in a big way, because there is a lot of money in India.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, definitely. If they could regulate it and have investors invest into it safely, and um, I think that, like you said, there's a bunch of people in India, and they're all trying to invest into crypto. I have a good friend who's in India, and he's pretty big in the industry, and he's the one who kind of brought it to me to bring me aware about the problems in India, asking if we had any solutions to fund Bitcoin for them. I think it would totally bring a lot of money into the marketplace if they can work with, like, let's say XRP. I know they're working with a lot of regulatory boards and whatnot. So I think it would be pretty cool if they can work with a coin and kind of get people from fiat into crypto, because I know a lot of them, there's a lot of money, but I don't think a lot of them are investing that much. So if they have a coin that's more free transaction, quick, which is better for them, I think, if you know what I mean.
to use as more of an actual currency.
Yeah,
And global remittance, a large portion of global remittance goes back to countries like India,
Yeah,
so
totally.
but they got like crazy backlash from the whole community, the crypto community at least, and probably the tech community as well, when they tried to ban it, and then the Supreme Court now postponed the hearing for the ban on crypto. So originally it was supposed to be the 20th of this month, July 20th, and now they pushed it to September 11th. So I think they're going to come out with
what a
something.
date to have that on, eh, boys?
Yeah. So other news, what else am I looking at here? There's some other cool stuff.
Another thing is, we saw Facebook lifted the bans on crypto. Google followed as well, and they lifted advertising bans. They didn't make it public, but people started seeing crypto ads. So they're probably just following steps from Facebook, and they're just doing the same thing probably.
Yeah, I think both those companies are trying to figure out how to monetize blockchain, and they see crypto growing. So they're going to let crypto ads back in. You can't do ICO ads though, so there's still...
No, definitely not.
Yeah, there's still like a lot of regulatory work most ICOs need to do to actually be compliant. So I think it's a good thing that Facebook and Google are holding their ban on ICOs. Like, what were we saying last week is 70% or 80% of all ICOs in 2017 were a scam.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say, in my opinion, it's like 90% right now. I wouldn't touch an ICO in a bear market either, so I'm not really even looking at anything.
Have so much fucking ether out for different ICOs. They're all just waiting for some kind of positivity in the market, some positive market sentiment to release the token.
Yeah, I was holding on to an ICO token, and I just ended up letting go of it as soon as I got it, which was a mistake, obviously, because I'm not patient, and it just went up in price. But everything's so depressing right now, especially just the ICO coins. Like, they're not moving, and if they're not on exchanges, they're kind of just like stagnant right now.
So pretty much everything's bleeding right now except for Bitcoin.
Yeah, there's some coins doing
Bitcoin Cash is all right. They Cardano did all right. I think they didn't get hit too hard. Bitcoin Cash, EOS is up on the day 1%, but looks like pretty much everything's bleeding.
ADT on Bittrex did 230%. So I'm like, okay, damn. I haven't seen that in a while, to be honest.
Yeah, altcoin of the day. Do you know what that is? That one?
ADT?
Yeah.
I'm just pulling it up right now. I actually don't. ADD token.
It's ADD? Or
ADT, ad token.
okay, I was gonna say you just take some Ritalin and you get a bunch of it, or no? But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
probably just
there's some good coins, I guess, but right now everything is just looking at
yeah.
Bitcoin, waiting for it to move. The market dominance, BTC dominance was like almost 50% at one point yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's at 46% right now, and we've climbed like almost double, and I think we are going to see maybe 65%, especially if ETF gets enabled. We'll see a huge decline in alts. We'll see them definitely bleed out because they can't hold their value in Bitcoin value once Bitcoin is rising, or the alts would have to be rising as well to hold its Bitcoin value. So basically Bitcoin's going to get you more alts. So
Yeah.
if you wait till then, yeah, because I've seen a lot of great opportunities. It's just like it goes back to the dilemma. Like I don't know if I should buy now or if I should wait for the cheaper price. But now I'm just telling myself I should
Yeah.
just throw 10% right now and 10% next week and
Later.
just keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. Because what if I buy a little bit expensive and then get the cheapest price in a couple weeks. But when it goes 10, 20x, I won't really give a fuck, to be honest.
Yeah, and you'll
Um,
be happy that you actually ended up entering that token or that coin, whatever
yeah,
it may be.
yeah, definitely.
Because it could be easy to
Um,
just get greedy, right?
yeah, definitely. One of the tokens I'm looking at actually right now is Tron. So there's a lot of hate on Tron. There's
Scam.
and Justin as well. But after they've moved to their after they've moved to their own blockchain, um, they're they're looking like a pretty good coin now, and it's pretty cheap at 3 cents. The highest was 20 cents. Like, let's say Super Bowl market, I could see this hitting $1 potentially. You know what I mean? So imagine just getting into Ethereum in the early stages and holding into your wallet, because holding Tron as well gets you free coins on the Tron platform. So they're rewarding people, kind of like what Ethereum's doing on their ERC platform. So just throw some Tron in your wallet and just accumulate these coins and hold them for the long term.
Have there
And
been any launches on their blockchain yet?
yeah, there has, and I think they're offering. I think it was $1 billion for other coins on the ERC platform to transition to their platform. Not like $1 billion to one coin itself, but like that's the fund they have. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they'll give $1 million to every coin, depending on how big the coin is or something like that. But so they're doing some moves, and
Right.
and and I've seen one of the wallets my buddy has, and he's gotten two different coin drop, like airdrops, just from
Oh,
holding
just from
Tron,
holding Tron. Cool.
and he's getting free Tron on top of that. So why when they're it's kind of fresh right now. Might as well put it in a wallet, and you just slowly accumulate it. You don't have to go crazy. Buy $100 a month or 150, $200 a month. It's 3 cents. You know how much
Yeah.
Tron that'll get you?
Tron's
I
super
don't know, but
controversial. Like everyone
it
has their
is.
stance and they're either like super against
It's
it or
like
super
Bitcoin
for it.
Cash. I think like
Yeah.
it's gonna go up regardless if people like it or hate it, and just
Mm-hmm.
sell,
Just because it
dump it on.
powers the blockchain.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's just a good infrastructure project. The fact that they moved on their own blockchain now is really positive, I think,
Yeah, and
for
it's
them.
like faster transactions, less cost, all that bullshit. So just a better platform for people to build on. So it's Ethereum's
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm a big believer in EOS and Ethereum, but maybe I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
get a couple shekels of Tron and hold on to it.
yeah. A couple shekels wouldn't hurt. Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. I'm gonna start throwing a little bit in the wallet.
Yeah. Are you using Proton Mail right now? The email service provider?
I've used them once or twice.
Apparently
I think
they're
it's pretty
thinking
cool that
about
they.
doing an ICO.
Yeah, you see, that would be cool. They have a huge service already. I don't know how much emails um, they're coming for you guys. I don't know how much, like how big of an email provider they are, but I know they're
A lot of
pretty
Bitcoin, a lot
big.
of crypto people are using Proton Mail,
Yeah, for
and a
sure.
lot of people are saying that if they actually do their ICO, that they're gonna move away. Like, I don't know if you heard of Whale Panda on Twitter. He's a pretty well known trader. He kind of keeps anonymous, but he's semi-anonymous, I guess, but he said that they're planning an ICO, and if they do, I'm canceling my subscription. He has a paid subscription. I know
Yeah,
many
yeah,
Bitcoiners are using it, but maybe not for much longer if they go down this road. So we'll see how that actually affects their
yeah.
plan,
But why
because
why would it? I don't see it being negative. Unless if it was a great ICO idea, I wouldn't see how it would be negative. I know that they're encrypted with SHA-256. I believe that's encryption, the same encryption, or maybe not, but that's exact encryption. But they use cryptography to encrypt their emails,
right.
so they're pretty secure, more secure than Gmail or Hotmail. If you want to kind of stay low key, that's Proton's definitely the shit to use. I don't see how that would be negative. I think maybe if he's paying for the service, maybe he'd get some free coins from an airdrop or something. Maybe
Yeah.
he'd get more of a bonus or something. And they're established,
Yeah. Well, it's weird because, crypto is becoming so much more mainstream so quickly, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like such a media frenzy on it now. Like, there's all these celebrities who are jumping into advertising crypto. I actually have a list right in front of me, who some of like the notable people. I mean, we got like Snoop Dogg saying,
Yeah, Snoop.
my next record available in Bitcoin and delivered in a drone, and then he tweeted, "Put in the crypt in crypto." So he's an
Yeah,
OG, been in the game, since the 90s,
yeah, yeah.
or
He's
yeah,
a
the
smart
early
dude.
90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we got other
Dennis Rodman as
people.
well. Dennis Rodman
Yep,
went to
his
Korea, I
career.
think,
Yeah, his
rocking Potcoin.
yep, with that whole meeting with Trump and Kim
Yeah,
Jong.
yeah.
Yeah, we got like Katy Perry, Floyd jumped in on it earlier, and then
Yeah, yeah.
the ICO he pushed like turned out to be a scam.
He pushed like 3 ICOs, I think. He just takes, I guess, any amount of money to promote anything.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher,
Yeah,
50 Cent's jumping in now.
yeah, yeah.
He claimed that he made a bunch of Bitcoin back in the day from selling his album. So
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's a lot of Bitcoin.
yeah, I don't remember him selling an album in Bitcoin though, but I could be wrong. Messi's like the highest paid athlete in the world aside from Mayweather. So you got
Yeah.
number one and number two on Forbes athlete lists pushing crypto. He's got like millions of followers too, so he's worth 9 figures, as well
Yeah.
as Floyd. They are both pushing crypto now. Floyd's was like one of those like Visa cards, I think, right? For the one that he was pushing, and then they got indicted. The company got indicted by
I'm
the
not sure what
SEC.
Floyd was. I'm not exactly sure what he was. I'm pretty sure he was doing multiple ICOs, but he was, pushing crypto for a good little while when it was pretty hot, on his Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, Donald Glover. Donald Glover, that's Childish Gambino, right?
Not sure of his name,
Yeah, I think
but
that's Childish Gambino.
it just shows you like how much crypto is not gonna go anywhere. I just feel bad for everybody who thinks it's gonna just fucking die or explode into thin air and everybody's gonna lose their money. Everybody who did get into crypto and are holding right now or are gonna invest before the pump, everybody's gonna feel pretty happy and in themselves for believing in the technology. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to.
Yeah, no
Sure.
doubt. Those who hodl are gonna be rewarded,
Yeah.
for sure. You got
Just
the strongest
hodl, yeah.
stomach. You're still holding the asset. It's unrealized loss at this point. Don't get weak.
Yeah.
And don't take unnecessary risk, right? Like, don't put yourself in that position where you would have to sell off and take a haircut, because that means you're just over leveraged.
Yeah, I saw a GoFundMe page for somebody Um, I don't want to laugh, but he says 21 years old and life-saving wiped. He says this past year I was poorly advised and put in $26,000 of my savings into XRP, and it just had to be
Damn.
Ripple. He put Ripple, so $26,000. He's like, I lost 90% of my savings, and this is not the funny part. He's like, I'm depressed every day. It takes almost everything of what I have left just to be able to make it in the morning and keep trying to move forward. I'm young and hardworking and honest and heartbroken. I had big plans to start my own business. So this guy's asking for $20,000 for the 26,000 he lost in investing into XRP. My question is, when you're down the road and XRP is 7 or 8 times the price, and now you have $100,000, do you return the money back you got in donations?
Definitely not. Definitely
Absolutely
not.
not.
Yeah, no
That's
chance.
pocketed.
I mean,
Smart guy.
Yeah.
well,
He
it's
puts
like
it as emergency.
I'm sure he saw that bullshit ass article from Forbes. I don't even know how Forbes puts that shit on their site, but saying like Ripple the next Bitcoin, it's so cheap, this and that. But it's like, man, you gotta look at the token economics and the total supply and understand the actual underlying business that supports Ripple, which I mean, it's debatable if there even is one. And then plus all the legal shit they're going through, all these battles they're gonna have to fight. That's a tough investment. I would never recommend going all in on any crypto except for Bitcoin, just because it's so well established.
Yeah, I agree, and that's if you're prepared to hold it, not trying to take it out in the next 3-4 weeks and make a GoFundMe page because things didn't go right.
Yeah, well, thanks for stopping by here, Kraser. Oh, maybe we'll have you on the pod again.
No problem. Thanks, boys. Thanks for the good information. It's a lot to take in, so I'm going to do a little bit of research, and hopefully next time I come in, I can share my experience with purchasing as a newbie on the market. Get your opinion, and hopefully I don't need to start a GoFundMe page.
Sounds good,
that's
boys.
That's the goal. That's why we're here.
All right. Thanks a lot, boys.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. That was another episode of Barstool Bitcoin. We're signing off now, and this episode was brought to you by BitMEX, the best way to make money in a bear market. If you want to get your free account on BitMEX, go ahead and check out our show notes section and register for your complimentary account. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.